about April 25th. This is in the Rich Cove Forest at Mountain Gardens. We're actually right on the National Forest property line, and we're looking at golden seal. There was not any golden seal growing here when I moved. I've introduced it and it's spreading quite well. It's happy here. It occurs naturally. It's more likely to occur on limestone areas in Tennessee and Kentucky and so on. But so if you want to grow it, you might, and you have a rich cove situation, you might want to add a little lime. But it seems to do quite well. So it's just now emerging. You can see these leaves aren't even full size yet, and it's flowering as it comes out of the ground. The flowers right on the end of the leaf. And that flower is going to turn into something that looks remarkably like a red raspberry. And it will just be perched right on the end of the leaf there, just above the stem. Very distinctive when it's in flower or in fruit, particularly in fruit. So the medicinal part, of course, is the root. Golden seal, it's a berberine containing plant, which there are quite a few in this world, starting with barberries, which gives the name to berberine. Oh, there's a big rock under there. Let's try over here. So we have in North America also gold thread. In Chinese medicine, you have 3 or 4 of these yellow plants. Yellow is huang. So you have huang lian, huang qin, huang bai. One's a tree. The others are herbs. What they all have in common is that they're yellow because they all contain berberine, a powerful antibiotic compound. So this is a rather small root. The root never gets very big. I've never seen one as much as a ½ inch in diameter. Usually about the size of thickness of a pencil. It'll gradually get longer. You can see it's very yellow. Typically when we dig these up to harvest, we're digging them in the autumn. And we'll show you another video later on, and at that point you can see the bud for next year. So you can harvest part of the root and replant the other part that has the bud for next year. But in fact, any part of this root will make a new plant. There'll be one very obvious bud, but it's also capable of making other buds elsewhere. You can see one right there. If this top was broken off, that would probably sprout up from there. Although it might wait till next year to do it. So any section of this root about 1/4 of an inch long will make you a new plant. We tincture it. You can also dry it. People also use the foliage. It's not quite as strong, but it's definitely got antibiotic properties. So this is good for any kind of infections, internal or external. A very good plant to have growing on your property, and it will spread and make a colony. After it's been there in a location for a while, it'll start making little thread-like runners. And if you find this in the woods, it will often have gradually outcompeted everything else nearby. So you'll have a solid stand of golden seals. One of the reasons perhaps why it got to be so endangered is because it's just a solid mass of golden seal. You can sort of roll the whole thing up and throw it over your shoulder and carry it out of the woods. It's all connected up. So it was seriously overharvested. It was on almost everyone's threatened or endangered list for a while, but a lot of people have jumped in on cultivating it. And in fact, the price sort of dropped, which is something typical with herbs. There's an herb gets popular and 1 million people jump in on it, whether it's black cohosh or echinacea or whatever, and then the buyers buy up until they've got a warehouse stuffed with the stuff, and then the price collapses. So if you want to grow herbs commercially for money, you just want to be careful about that. Putting all your eggs in one basket, so to speak. I'm just going to stick this back in the ground. It might wither away this year, but it'll be back next year again. It's growing very comfortably in here with this creeping phlox, nice native wildflower, and there are little ramp seedlings all over in here that you can see. There's some various species of trilliums, wake robins, and there's toad trilliums. They're all nicely coexisting together here. So it's early July, July 7th. We're here on the edge of the woods looking at golden seal, Hydrastis canadensis, very important southern Appalachian medicinal herb in the buttercup family. This has a bright golden root, that's why it's golden seal, which indicator for berberine. So there are a number of berberine containing plants, barberry, which gives it its name, berberis is barberry. Yellow root is another native berberine plant. Oregon grape is used for berberine, and then in Chinese medicine we have huanglian, huangqin, and huangbai, huang meaning yellow, so the three yellow herbs with berberine in them. And we also have gold thread up north. So this is an important antibiotic herb used for all kinds of infections, internal and external. The leaf is also used, but mainly it's the root. And at the moment we just want to look at the fruit. The fruit looks like a little red raspberry, and it's perched right on the corner of the leaf, right opposite where the stem comes up. So extremely distinctive. You can't mistake this for anything else when you see it in fruit. And of course that's where the flower was earlier. When it's happy, it eventually starts to make a colony. You can see how many there are here. That's because it's spreading by the roots. Next little thready running roots. There's more golden seal back here. So we've got a pretty good patch of it going here. There was no golden seal on my property when I moved here, so I've introduced it and I've moved it around different places. In the woods, on the edge of the woods. It'll actually take a fair amount of sun, but I wouldn't put it in full sun. So it's fairly easily propagated from the seeds. You have to never let them dry out. If you get them planted right away, they'll probably germinate next spring. Otherwise they go into a dormancy and have to go through another whole winter before they'll germinate. But it's quite easily propagated by division as well, and we'll show you that later on in the year when we harvest it. Show you how to divide the roots, which is perhaps a little easier than seed, but if you're trying to make a lot of it, seed is a good way to go. Never gets much taller than this, maybe a little bit. Foot, 18 inches. The ones with the two leaves are the ones that are going to make the fruit. The single leaf ones don't flower or fruit. That's golden seal. It occurs a little bit more abundantly. It's endangered in North Carolina and in a number of places due to having been over-harvested. Now a lot of people have jumped in and started cultivating it, and the bottom kind of fell out of the market. It was very pricey for a while. It was the second most pricey thing coming out of the woods, but not anymore. Because a lot of folks are cultivating it.